Mr. McPherson, what's your prediction for Mayweather Alvarez?
Mayweather Alvarez, I think that Floyd saw what I saw. And this is the first time I saw Floyd actually jump into a fight very quickly and announce that he was fighting someone. Remember, it normally took him a while to decipher or not whether or not he was going to fight, whether it's Pacquiao or whoever it was, right? But this particular fight, he took very quickly. And the reason why he took that fight is he saw what I saw in the Alvarez and Austin Trout fight. And in the Austin Trout fight with Alvarez, I saw a guy in 5 rounds completely dead. This guy's got no gas tank at all, none whatsoever. And I think that if Mayweather will make him fight. He will keep him in the middle of the ring and it will make him fight the first 5 or 6 rounds, and he'll make him fight at a blistering pace. If he makes him fight at that blistering pace, you're going to see this guy. You're going to see this guy conk out, and I think Mayweather will be able to. I think it lands a chance, a very, very good chance that Mayweather could stop this guy under 10 rounds. I really believe that. I truly believe that.
Okay. Do you think, what good things does Alvarez possess? Like, what's his strong points?
Well, fighting Mayweather, I don't see a whole lot of good things fighting Mayweather because Mayweather's so quick, he's not going to be able to do, this kid's not going to be able to do that. Get momentum to do the things that he wants to do. Now bear in mind, you got a Mayweather who's 36 years old, and I take that into account. 36-year-old guys in boxing, you never know. Some of the greatest fighters that ever lived couldn't do it past 32 or 33 years old. But with that being said, I think that the Mayweather that we've seen in the last couple of fights, if that guy shows up, if he shows up, this is a no contest fight, and I don't think that Alvarez will be able to contend with the things that Mayweather does, because Mayweather is able to offset him in things that offset him and make him turn, continue to make him turn. That's the key to this fight, is making Alvarez continue to turn one way to the other, one way to the other, one way to the other, and not let him generate power by coming straight ahead. So I don't think that there's a lot of, I don't see a whole lot of upside to Alvarez, to be honest with you.
Will Mayweather be able to do that? Because Mayweather's he hasn't really been moving around too much these last few fights.
Well, let me say this to you. Guys like Alvarez, you don't have to move. We're not talking about Mayweather's not running all over the ring like years ago when he was moving a lot.
Right.
He slowed down, and time does that because you get older, your legs, don't permit you to do those things. But he doesn't have to run from this guy. There's no reason for him to run. He can just go from side to side and box Alvarez because Mayweather's repertoires are outstanding. His repertoires are outstanding. And he's going to change the repertoires, and this guy's going to be running into shots. I can see Alvarez running into shots, and he can't get away from it. He was doing a little bit of that with Trout, but Trout couldn't put even 1-2s together. Trout was sticking to a jab. He stuck to a jab, and the guy was still dead tired.
Right.
And that was a very tough fight, even though the scoring on that fight was the way it was. But guess what? Who's gonna beat Alvarez in Texas? Nobody. You understand? That's not gonna happen. And I knew that when they said that. Forget about the decision. Trout could never win the decision in Texas. Okay, but I see a few things that listen. It's too soon for him, Alvarez. It's probably 2 years too soon for him. And I don't think that, Mayweather would probably have to be 40 for him to beat Mayweather.
What do you think about people that say that Alvarez has more power and that's where he might win because of his power?
Well, you're talking, listen, I don't believe in luck in boxing because guys train, and that's what we do. to throw a punch to hit you with it and then try to knock you out if he can. That's not luck. People do use the term, he got lucky when a guy hits a guy on the chin and the guy falls. They say, oh, he got lucky that night, he hit him on the chin. Well, that's one. But in skillful fights like with Mayweather, you got to have your act together, and you got to be able to put your punches together to be able to finish Mayweather. We saw a very experienced Shane Mosley, little older Mosley at the time, but that was the first time I actually seen Mayweather really take some serious shots. He took 2 major shots against Shane Mosley. But remember, a classic boxer like Mosley couldn't finish Mayweather. A classic boxer like Mosley couldn't do it. Couldn't finish Mayweather. And Mayweather survived the shots that Mosley hit him with. But Mayweather's a crafty guy, and the older you get, the smarter you get too.
Right.
And and I know Mayweather has looked at this guy and said to himself, "This is a cinch. This is a cinch." Because this guy he can never hit me with those the punches that he's been knocking all these other guys out with Alvarez. He's never gonna hit Mayweather with those kind of shots. That ain't gonna happen. And Mayweather does have a tendency at times now to go to the ropes, and the reason why he goes to the ropes sometimes is so he can see things a lot clearer. People don't know that. When a guy goes back to the ropes and they drift to the ropes, older guys, they can see things much more clearer by the ropes than they can in the middle of the ring. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Mayweather gravitate to the ropes at times, whether he wants to catch a breath or whatever, and see things so he can see things coming when he can't see them out in the middle of the ring. I can see that happening.
Okay.
But I think he'll control. I think he'll be in total control of this fight. From start to finish.
Okay, so you got Mayweather, all right.
Oh, do I got Mayweather? Listen, there's no question. Listen, I've watched Mayweather's pretty much his whole career, and I've watched him fight certain styles of guys, and this guy is, to be honest with you, Alvarez is what I would say in my world, coming up in the 1980s, he's a cheap version of Julio Cesar Chavez. I said a cheap version. I said a cheap version. It's not no Julio Cesar Chavez. You know what I'm saying? Chavez had far better skills than Alvarez. Okay, but I think that this fight may do Alvarez a lot of justice when it's over with, because he'll then have been in with someone who down the road, when he sees a guy like Mayweather, we won't see another Mayweather, but I'm saying when he sees this type of a style, he'll be more prepared for it than he is right now. But right now, I don't see. I just don't see what anybody else sees. I've heard stories about, this guy's a big puncher. He's this, that, and the other. Well, all I got to do is keep my hands up and avoid the punches, and block his shots and counter him. And that's what but I think Mayweather's going to do more than that. Mayweather's going to start this fight, and I think he's going to get the fight started, get the fight started in a sense that the guy never gets going. Alvarez never really gets going. And he's never really been put in that predicament. Remember, he's always dictating because everybody's afraid of him, because he's so much of a power puncher. But Mayweather's not afraid of him at all, and he's going to be able to dictate the fight. And if once Mayweather dictates the fight, it's game over.
Okay, you heard it right here. Mr. McPherson says Mayweather's going to beat Alvarez. All right, so I'll have to catch up with you after the fight, and we'll see what happens.